All right. Good evening. Guys, the kids ready for bad ideas? Dude, this whole box is a whole box of bad ideas. Let me recalibrate my eyes. I keep staring down. Looking up. There we go. That's better. Right. All right. I'm still wrapping up dinner, so it's good. Spicy chicken kebab. It's fantastic. I went and got a professional massage done today. That was fantastic. Feel fucking great now. But this box of mine is made up of all kinds of fun crap that I've acquired over the years working hazmat. But it's just a flimsy cardboard box, so it's got to be repacked. Let me pull up one of the cameras. Where is it? Yeah, that's it. That's what's been containing all of this dangerous garbage. Cardboard. Alright, but I gotta repack it. I got a nice Rubbermaid here, so I figured a little laggy. Well, I figured it'd be a good idea to get this taken care of because cardboard's not the most sturdy or protective. But let's open it up. I don't know how heavy it is. Most elements are metals, so this box has a bit of heft to it. And I figured as I went through each one, I could pull out some of them and talk about them, and the elements, and then I realized there's a lot of the ones I don't know what they do with the element, so we'll wing it because that's a lot of bubble wrap. Box is open. I got my list periodic table here so I remember what I've already got marked and what I need to get there. That's a lot of bubble wrap. Packed some stuff into smaller boxes. Let's see what the first one I got. Oh, that's a fucking fun box. Yeah, I'll save that box for. All right, let's take care of what I had on my bed, next to my bed. First one I got. Let me mark this. Oops. It's a lump of elemental sulfur. It comes natively like that. It just grows like you just mine it out of the ground. Big yellow, stinky, fart-smelling chunks. So this pen don't work. It does work. It just doesn't work on the boxes I need it to. So that's a good one. Hon, do you have any highlighters?
Do you need a specific color?
Probably need a few colors. Maybe a blue or green, yellow, orange, and red. Just hand me a whole rainbow of highlighters. You got it. Thanks.
Oh, you know what?
All right, green will be. I have a good sample of this. This is a great sample. Big old elemental chunk.
Sorry, somewhere I had a really nice mini palette of highlighters.
Hmm.
Now I want to know where they are.
But this one I paid for. I bought this one at a mall. We have a mineral store at our mall, so. Cats, what are you eating? Cats are eating stuff. All right. Sulfur is used in all kinds of stuff. This whole group stinks. Smells. Selenium smells. Thallium smells. Oxygen You don't realize it, but oxygen hurts to smell. Thanks, son. It's a that and phosphorus are both pretty common in anything you need to burn or explode. But that's the first of, God, what is it, 118 elements? Yeah, a lot of these, the radioactive ones, yeah, I don't have those. Those would be, I would die. Some of the radioactive ones I do. So, all right. So first one off the list is sulfur. This one I might keep in the mineral collection. That's a chunk of native copper. That's just how you can find it normally. I think one of the reasons why it was an early tool we were using is because you could just find it like that. Gold, silver, copper, those you can all find them like kind of like that. Slightly corroded. My in-laws are yelling. But I have other copper's so easy to find for an element collection. What the hell are they yelling about? They are loud people. Anyways. Copper's main value comes from the fact that it's incredibly ductile, so you can make all kinds of wires and stuff out of it. But ancient people used to make it tools and some jewelry. But I know I have other samples of copper. I want to mark it off. That's cobalt. Copper, there we go. Cuprum. Cuprum is the old name for copper. That's why it's Cu. So I'm going to set this one aside. This one's not going in the element collection. Because I know I have others that are decent. What are you looking at, pancakes? Ooh, these ones are messy, these next ones. Pancakes, what are you doing? Pancakes, I want to beat you with a shovel.
What is he doing? I have my drink over
One
here,
second.
and he likes to drink, so...
Oh, aha, gotcha. Oh, no, I don't gotcha. So much for the element of surprise. I was going to shove his face in front of the camera. He loves getting his face shoved in front of cameras. Alright, anyways. These next few I got here, it looks like I had to contain them all in mineral oil. Oh, my bubble wrap is connected, and it's dragging other stuff, so. Alright. Mineral oil's hard to contain. It's leaking. Lithium. This is just a thin foil. Oh my fucking god.
Alright, thanks.
Anyways. Thank you. Alright. Loud people. Lithium, it's oily. But it's in the mineral oil because it will react with water. It is a very lightweight metal, so it will float. I got another sample that floats better. You can see it's nice, shiny, metallic. Is a good sample of lithium. Use it when it's rolling out in sheets like that. You can use it to make batteries, and they like to explode. Keeping up with the have to be submerged mineral oil by sodium, but it looks like it almost looks like it's growing algae, but I know that can't be algae. That algae, this would be so basic. If there's any moisture in here, it's absolutely converted to sodium hydroxide. What is that green? There's like a green goo on the bottom. That's concerning, but that's about as good as I'm gonna get for sodium. I mean, unless I get argon ampules or something, but argon ampules are expensive. Alright, let me finish up my chicken. Because the next one. Oh. Mmm. That's my potassium metal. It didn't used to look like that. Of course, this is precisely why I'm going through this. There's a little cube. Oh, it's got like gel on the bottom. That is interesting. Well, potassium, you're going to get marked with a yellow one because I might have to buy an argon ampule for you. That one could certainly be improved. Gross. But these guys, these three, don't like water. They react very readily to form the hydroxide, which is very basic, and it will rip apart your cell membranes and turn you into soap. Why is the potassium so gooey, but the other two are okay? Wait, just let me pull these two out of the way, because they're...
Maybe I have nothing for you.
There's so much bubble wrap in this box. Some goo. Alright, what else was on there, bubble wrap, that was weighing down? Oh, this is another one of the lithiums. Yeah. This is the one where you can see that it floats quite readily. Outside's a little oxidized, a little black. Probably lithium oxide, if I had to guess. I'm gonna set that to the side because that's another one. It's got mineral oil all over the outside of the tube. What is... Oh, this one. This is one of the helium tubes. This particular item is over 100 years old. And if I had thought about it, I would have brought out one of my those little laser balls, because I can hold the tube next to it and it glows like bright whitish blue. One thing about helium samples is they're kind of hard to keep a hold of. I think they must have trapped just helium in here, so it's not able to diffuse out. Because helium, the H2 molecules are small enough that they can actually leak through glass. They just fit through the atoms, and in a cold environment, it'll start to puddle around it. There's a few others. This one looks like it's... Looks like the wire probably ran through either side and created a field with those metal discs, and that's what caused it to light up. But I don't know, because this is... The thing's a century old. It was made in 1921. I know that because... Ooh. This next one, kind of an odd one. Because it's an element, but it's a special isotope. And it is stuck in so much bubble wrap and tape. This one, you can see a little Prince Rupert's drop. This is a vial, an ampule of deuterium, which is heavy hydrogen. It's slightly radioactive. D2. And I guess it would also be T2 for the tritium. So the hydrogen atom with an extra neutron on it, so it's slightly unstable. It's just another clear gas, like hydrogen normally is, but this is a special isotope of it. 11, 11, 11. I don't know if that's from 1911 or 2011. But judging by the marker on it, 2011. Unless it's a paint marker. I don't know. I got a lot of the glass ampules I have are either fairly recent or over a century. There's like no in between. Roll that one back up because we don't want the radioactive gas leaking out. Right, hon?
Huh?
Nothing. All the delicate ones. So, deuterium. I got tritium in here somewhere too. Okay, these ones are. I gotta take a look at these ones. Oh, okay, this is a mix of stuff in this bundle. Argon gas. I wasn't able to find any cool ampules. I just found some of those little cylinders. Same with a old oxygen tube. They're rusty. I don't like that. How much compressed oxygen? It looks like it's for an old type of torch where you could keep the butane and the oxygen stuck inside the same torch at the. So it's like a not quite an acetylene torch. It's not using acetylene, it's using butane. But it's still got the oxygen supply in it, so it must burn fairly powerfully. I'm pretty sure I have. I know I have an argon ampule, and I know I've got some oxygen glass tubes, but I think those are. They might be in a different box just because I don't want to cram all the glass into one area. So, get to oxygens away. Oxygen, surprise, surprise, oxidizes stuff. And when stuff oxidizes, slowly it just rusts or corrodes. When it does it fast, it burns. But here is my tritium sample. This is an old military compass. And there's two little ones. And there are several in the compass part, which, as you can see, functions fantastically. So the way these work is the little glass tubes are lined with a phosphorescent paint, which should still work. And inside the tube is the radioactive tritium gas, which is just hydrogen with 2 extra neutrons on it. And there's a faint little nothing. And the radioactivity from the gas inside the ampule hits the glowing paint and causes it to stay glowing without needing to shine a flashlight on it to get it to glow and give away your position. So it even has a little 3H radioactive warning on it. Sandy 183, 120 micro 3H. Controlled disposal required. Close that right back up. That is my tritium sample. That's probably one of my most durable samples in here. I'm trying to look at how I packaged these. I think a lot of them were just wrapped in, like they weren't too planned out. Just kind of like whatever was stable, I'd wrap it all together. Pretty. Pancakes. What are you doing here with your fat butt? Staring at Molly and dinner plates. Ah. Related to the deuterium. Deuterium oxide. Basically heavy water. They basically just replace the hydrogen in the H2O with the deuterium instead. It fluoresces a little bit under UV light, but I don't have... Oh! Hun. Can I trouble you to grab your UV flashlight? I think it's on my dresser in the bedroom. We'll see in just a second. When I brought that outside once, it pretty sure it glowed. Aha!
And he's like, we don't get paid enough to do this work, Mom.
He doesn't. He doesn't get paid at all. Thank you, hon. So does it... Is it only under... That's just the light. It's hard to tell, I think, because everything's being hit with UV light. But if I took that ampule outside into the sun, it does fluoresce slightly. So that one's not really part of the element collection. It's just a neat addition to the weird chemical collection. Tuck back in there. Wrap. All right. What is... Next one is tape. All tape. So much tape. This one's just another really neat helium tube. It's basically the same thing as the other one. You got the two metal ionization points on one end, and then the thin tube where it glows. Don't know what it's for, but is there a date on this one? No. Just another one of the weird helium ones. Thanks. Awesome. The downside to the way I'm taking all this out and apart is all these items on top are all really lightweight, thin glass material. And now once I pull it out and set it down, I don't have anywhere to put the other stuff. This one's from 1933. This one is from 1927. And 27. More helium. Older helium this time. And I tested them. The helium has not leaked out of these yet, so how it hasn't yet, I don't know. Oops. That looks really thoroughly wrapped, so let's pull it out. This is a little one. This one I was trying to get my hands on for a while. Not because it's hard to get. It was actually very easy to get. I was just too lazy. And that's just some boron crystals. They're dark, almost a purplish black. Very thin, fine-grained crystal. I don't have anything to say about boron. You use it in boric acid for killing roaches and borax for your laundry, but like boron doesn't do much. Boron is a boring element. That's why they named it boron, because it's boring. But that's it. That's boron. The end. this one, I didn't mark this one. There's no markings on it. This one, well, I won't fuck with it. Thulium, that's what it is. This one's thulium metal. Don't know much about thulium, but the island of Thule is kind of like Aryan Atlantis, and the symbol of the island of Thule is a swastika. Like, that's where it came from. That's where the Nazis got it. It was a circle with like a rounded edge swastika in it. So instead of like square, it was just a circle. And that's why the Nazis have their swastika in a circle, because they took it from Thule. And that's all I know about Thule and thulium. But I bought that off of someone on Reddit along with this one. And it's very hard to see because it's kind of faint. But you can see, compared to the paper, there is a slight yellowish hue. And this is a chlorine gas ampule. Oh, I didn't take the cap. I took the cap off. There's no... It's secure in there. But it is also a Zone A PIH, and there's a lot of strict shipping regulations that the person who sold this to me and I did not follow. But that's carbon. Shit. Wrong element. God, I'm an idiot. I've got great carbon samples, so I'm not worried. Yeah, it's bad. Good. Chlorine. Chlorine is named after the Greek word for green, which is chloros. That's also why chlorophyll is called chlorophyll, despite not having any chlorine in it. And so you run into a bit of back and forth between biology and chemistry when I'm doing hazmat stuff, trying to figure out if something's chlorinated or if it's just green. Those ones are in there pretty good. I'm not too worried about their physical strengths. Let me deal with this small box now. There's the small box. What is that? Oh, okay. There's a little loose piece in here. That is nothing. This is, what is this? A gram of cesium. The little piece just goes in the tube here and it smashes into the air, which breaks it open, and then it will explode in my hands. Cesium's nice and yellow. Nice yellowish light gold color metal. This is the one it should actually melt in my hands. So I'm gonna hold it for a second. So this was one of the ones where samples are really, really expensive, but I managed to get one like right as I was leaving a place. And it's like, yeah, it's like one of the final ones on my list I need to get was cesium. Melting it all. Oh, it is melting. Wow, that was melting quick. Alright, give me a second. I'm going to hold it for a little longer. We went to Starbucks today and they were out of their big cups, so I got a bunch of small cups. Cesium and cerium are different. Okay, there's cesium. Yeah, you can see a little bit of it's melting in there. Like liquid bits. It forms nice little crystals when it's neat. But cesium. Cesium is one of the most reactive elements you can really get your hands on. Like, you can't get a hold of francium. That one's just straight up radioactive and has a half-life of moments, so you're never gonna get any francium. Cesium is usually used as a salt, cesium chloride. What else is in this box? Oh. Oh gosh, this thing. All right. This is an amalgam of, I believe, potassium and sodium. It might be rubidium, but very good. But that in there is liquid metal. It's not mercury. It's way too. You can see it's really light and thin. It has stained the glass a bit, and there's little all this black you're seeing is just the other side of it. It's black on the glass on one way, but if you look on the inside, you can see it's a mirror shape. When I flip it around, and it's black. This is some angry shit. This is some really angry stuff in this ampule. It does not like existing. I wonder what happened if you threw it at a car. Fortunately, it's sealed. I know it's sealed because if it wasn't sealed, it would have reacted a long time ago. But we're just gonna roll this one back up. We're gonna put that back in the little cardboard box because it's an angry, angry material. It hates its own existence and wishes it was dead. Oh, fortunately, I had a little thing in there for it. Packet. It was sitting on this cork holder. It's got this little point up top. I think I had that sitting in the bottom. I just have to rotate it a little. Oh, danger box. I don't like that either. That's such a fine little point. I just think... I worry about these things, on account of the toxic fires that would happen if my box was ever ruptured. There we go. So just leave that there. What is this? Okay, I'm not opening this one. I know better than to open this one. Oh, look, you can see it. There's a little bit in there. Yeah, that's it right there. The little dark spot. That's the thorium. I'm not opening the thorium. Fuck that. Where is that item here? TH? TR? There it is. That's the thorium metal. Maybe I should put it in acrylic. We've been playing a lot of acrylic and UV resins. Yeah, that one I'm not opening. You're not seeing that one. That one's staying in the jar. Ooh, this one. Fun story about this one. This is my bromine. Bromine gets its name from the Greek word from smell, bromos, because it was a smelly look. It had a strong smell. It's not like stinky smell. It's very much a halogen kind of smell. The ampule looks unbroken. That is elemental bromine in there. And getting this was such a hassle. So when we found it, it was in a glass bottle, but it had a plastic cap, and that plastic cap was failing quickly. So my coworker and I got some glass tubing, started making our own ampule, and in the middle of making it, I've got one end he did with a blowtorch, and his hands get tired, and he's holding it like this, and I'm torching one end. This is a much larger tube than it's in now. And I just seem to like, ah, shit. He burned the hell out of his hand. So we finally got it into the first tube. I don't like that sticking up there. We got into the first tube. And it was still hot. And my dad was like, I wonder if the end is sealed. And I tilted it. And the bromine hit the hot end, which had a slight hole, and just squirted across the fume hood. This is also a poison inhalation hazard. Zone B, not quite as bad as chlorine, but it's still a PIH, and you don't want to fucking breathe it. What the hell? Oh, my massage earlier, they used a lot of oil, and I'm still covered in it. It's very uncomfortable. But once we finally got it into an ampule, I started encasing it in acrylic. Everything was going well, but I kind of put it in the container wrong. And it chewed its way out. It cracked and chewed its way out. So I tried again, and then it started to chew its way out of that too. And finally, I said, screw it. We'll use the small, tiny one. This used to be an NMR tube, and we just got some in there, heated the end, twisted it, and sealed it. But the journey of trying to contain this thing was a series of almost costly errors. Everything worked out. Nobody got hurt permanently. And I was able to add bromine to the collection, which I don't recommend. I can't recommend packing it like on your own. Find someone who sells them pre-made. Diamond compounds. Alpha ASAR. This should be the rubidium. Rubidium. 99.5%. It's crusty. Why is it crusty? It wasn't crusty before. It's just dirt. It's just crud. It's because it's old. What is this from? Doesn't say. Rubidium. I don't know what they do with it. Put it in water, it explodes and makes rubidium hydroxide, turns the water basic. That's all I got on it. I don't think it'll melt if I hold it. But there's only 1 gram. Only another 100 to go. What are these? Oh, these are just more rubidium. I think they're rubidium anyway. The yellowness of one of these, it could be cesium. Yeah. More argon ampules. It does look kind of yellow. Oh, this is more alloy. Yeah, you can see it's this one must have cesium in it because it's pretty yellow. But you'll actually see this piece of glass in here is like coated in the liquid, and you can kind of see it rolling around in there and leaving behind a trail of like the liquid golden metal. One of these blew up in my face. We were tossing them into buckets of water for disposal, because in order to dispose of them, you need to get like the disposal for the reactive rubidium way higher than just making rubidium hydroxide. So we just did that, and then so the metal tips aren't touching each other, and we toss one, and then we snap the end off one, toss it in the water, and it goes. And then we opened the second one, tossed it in the water, and it went. And then tossed another one in, and it went whoosh, exploded in my face. Strontium-88. I don't know if strontium-88 is radioactive. I don't know. Hold on, is the camera getting fuzzy? Oh wait, there's a plastic shield in the way. Anyways, that's probably fine. It's probably fine. This is a piece of metal foil. Strontium's pretty reactive. Not as bad as some of the others, but I think you can use it in red pigments. Oh, you know what? Actually, my ring has got strontium in it. But and the camera's balancing out, so you can't see the glow. I think they used a strontium nitrate pigment in it. You can use it. I think it makes compounds that phosphoresce a little bit. But I honestly don't know. Most of my chemical knowledge is like, hey, don't do this. Oh, this other thing you wanted to do? Yeah, don't do that either. Everything you were planning on doing is horribly dangerous. Don't do it. Let me get this little box put away. Because these were the danger do not box. These were, I think, for the most part, the dangerous ones. Sorry we got the fun shit out of the way first. Closed up. Box lip is getting caught on something. Oh, it's on the cork ring. Okie dokie. Now here, it looks like I thought ahead a little bit. Got, oh no wonder, this is all fucking metal. I've got a big ol' I think this is out of a Lego Advent calendar. But it's a big ol' tray full of lots of stuff. What does that smell? Not a fan of that smell. Not a fan of not being able to get this tape off either. I'm struggling. What the frick? It's stuck. Hold on. Alright, maybe I'll try it from the other end. Maybe the mercury. Okay, I'm cutting it. Oh! My scalpel blade flew out. There we go. Oh boy. The mercury wasn't here. It's bubble wrap yellowed. It was on the bottom. You can see more bubble wrap. It's also yellow. something leaked. Great. Fan-freaking-tastic. It's a little figure my friend wanted me to paint. It's over there. All right. I should probably put on gloves. Those are downstairs in the garage. All right. Chunk of zinc. They use zinc freaking everywhere. It's inside of pennies. It's inside large tubes in your water heater so that the metal can dissolve and not deal with other shit. Man, I don't like that something leaked. Let's see, what are those? All right, I can't show you those two. Don't question. Oh, okay. I'm less concerned about. Yeah. All right. Let's just go down the list. All right, zinc. Yeah, it's everywhere. All right, next up, another one I'm not opening. It's a chunky black rock looking one. That one is arsenic. So I got 10 grams. 10 grams? 10 grams of arsenic. Pure elemental arsenic. Arsenic was used in a lot of pigments and rat poisons. Paris green is a famous one. They use in wallpapers and stuff. And then we get humid, and the mold would grow, and it would basically poison whoever was living there. Here's some beads of selenium. That's another toxic one. That one is mostly used in dandruff shampoo. I have a selenium ingot in here, and I was watching videos of people melting selenium into ingots, and it's got a low melt temperature, like 300 degrees, 300 something. And so I have a programmable smelter, and I toss it in there, and I melt it down, and I pour myself an ingot. But the people I was watching making videos were like hitting it with a blowtorch, and there was this huge dark red cloud coming off of it. Like, oh, it really stinks. It's like, Jesus Christ, you have any idea how toxic that is? And they were just, oh, try not to breathe it. It's like, yeah, try not to make it. Holy shit. But there it is, selenium metal. Heavy metal. Oh. Cerium. That's another one that's got to be in the oil. I don't know what to do with cerium, but there it is. Lightweight metal chunks. Bubbles coming out of it, and I hope it's just stuff that got mixed in there. Yeah, it looks fine. It looks fine. Cerium. A lot of the rare earth metals, lanthanides and the actinides, kind of rare. You just don't see much. Oh, yeah, it's oil. On my socks. Oh, that's right. I remember this vial. The oil got on the lid. It's 10 grams. The oil got on it, and the lid actually, like, the label on the lid actually came apart. Here is some lead shot. And I believe I took this from some... So this is isotopically pure lead. I don't remember which isotope, but there it is. Lead is freaking everywhere. Plumbum. That's the old Roman word for it. It's where you get the word plumber. That's why its symbol is PB. Because it was used in pipes. It's easy to shape, easy to work with. They didn't realize how toxic it was. We put it in our gasoline, and now our country's full of idiots. PB. Bum bum. That is. I got some other little bits in there. You use it for, you know, weights, and put it in the bottom of your Stanley Cup and have yourself a nice lawsuit. Oh, shit, what was I going to put in here? Oh, that's right, the mercury. I'll get to it. Some barium, and that's another one that started. That looked nicer. It was metal chunks before. Now it's crap. I guess I'm starting to realize that maybe argon ampules are the way to go, rather than mineral oil. Because even sealed, it looks like they react with it. Barium's another toxic metal, but it's used for X-rays and stuff like that. Because it gives radioactive barium gives like a good signal. I don't know where it settles specifically, but it gets in there. Barium, lead. What was the other one? Cerium. That was it. Okay, I knew I had these in here. I marked Marty. Carbon, activated charcoal, and these are actually diamonds. So, probably two of the most well-known. I got graphite in here somewhere. Isotopes of carbon, or allotropes. The diamonds are diamonds are nice and glittery. They're not, you know, they're too small to make into jewelry. They're too, I don't know, impure. Too many contaminants because they're big yellow. But diamonds are still diamonds, so they're still hard as shit. You can grind the hell out of stuff. I think that was going to be used to make. I think I pulled this out of a kind of a sandblasting system, but they used diamond dust instead of sand. This is just activated carbon. But I already marked carbon off, so hey. This is a chunk of erbium metal. And erbium. I don't know what it looks like. Because I don't know if I've ever opened this sample to look at it, and disc. I'm not going to now, but I have some of the others. Erbium, ytterbium. Where's the other one? Erbium, ytterbium, yttrium, YT. YT. Where's the other Y? There it is. Yttrium. They were all found in Ytterby, Sweden. I want to say the same mine system. So they're all named after the town of Ytterby. Yes, here it is. Yep. What's this? Oh, hey, there's yttrium. Is it? Did I seal this? Oh, there it goes. No, it's just a neat container. Cool glass ampule. Yttrium. Decent metal chunks. I imagine the erbium looks pretty much the same. Look, dull metal chunks. That's what most of the periodic table is dull metal chunks. And I got some magnets that are yttrium and bismuth based, but they're just magnets. Niobium. And that one is not marked. Good job, Flamel. Good job. It's nice and shiny looking though. I want to say that might be terbium. Thallium. That's what I mean. Thallium. I know I have some tellurium chunks. They look exactly the same. I think that's tellurium.
Hey.
Well, what's he doing? Oh, Pancake's just trying to steal Dr. Wife's drink. So there's my tellurium. And my niobium. NB. Nothing. It's in here somewhere.
My Penny always walks around like, I'm
Yep,
innocent,
yep.
I'm innocent. He's like,
Pancakes. You were stealing drinks and knocking stuff onto computers. Another pair I don't know anything about. Another, yeah, another dull gray, kind of crispy looking niobium. This one is my ytterbium powder. It's not great. It's a very fine powder. You're not going to be able to see it. I'm going to mark it as my second not great sample of the night. It's just a fine black dust. Germanium. Nice clinky clanky metal. It looks like it's got a hard crystalline structure. Some of the streaks from cutting it, but named after Germany. I found if I shake these bottles too hard, I break the bottles. Because I did that with my gold, I was showing it off and it just shattered. Little tiny xenon lamp. I have better xenon samples in here. We'll get to that a little more towards the end of this tray, but I can mark the xenon. Xenon fluoresces kind of bright. Nice bright white arc. What's this tiny one? Dysprosium. I know I said I was going to share fun facts, but the truth is I don't know shit about the rare earth metals. Dysprosium, there we go. You can use them to make some good pigments. I want to say holmium oxide is like one of the best glow-in-the-dark, or best UV pigments. And I have some in here somewhere. But I will find it eventually. 10 grams of gadolinium. I really wish some of these were more interesting. We're going through all my small samples first. Oh, there is terbium. Maybe that chunk was terbium. I know I have big Thorium crystals, so I'm not concerned with marking that one off. 1 gram of Thallium. That is one I will never open. Thallium is called the poison of poisoners because it's a very, very strong poison, very toxic, and it has the habit of also poisoning the people who are trying to poison people with it. So that is just gonna stay in there. That's also Thallium. How do I have that much Thallium? Right, TL? Yeah, alright, I got a 1.1 grams of Thallium. Hey, now we're getting into the fun stuff. Palladium sponge. So the sponge is just because it's what I'm doing with the silver in the garage. It comes out as a sponge. It comes out as a sludge, little various sized crystals. Palladium recently shot up in value. That's a platinum group because they started using it in catalytic converters instead of platinum. They found a different way to use it, and it was better than platinum. So platinum took a hit, and palladium shot up. It's really interesting the way like some metal prices can just absolutely just crap out on you. What's this? Speaking of stable isotope PD. Oh yeah, more palladium. So this is isotopically pure palladium, And you can't, because it's a small, it is an incredibly small amount in this tiny little jar. It's 5 milligrams. Yeah, it's a small amount. Having an isotopically pure sample is really hard to get. They're really expensive. Here is gold. And I've got more gold in the other room. But here's some gold foil samples that I had. Because who doesn't like gold? What's this one? Isotopically pure platinum. This one's 500 milligrams, so it's 100 more than the palladium. And I also have in here, even though I've got way more in the garage, silver bullet. Not a real bullet, it's just shaped like one, but it's 1 ounce of pure silver. Was it 999? 1 ounce, 3 nines. Yep. It's tarnished on the outside, but it's still a little bright on the bottom. It was sitting like, I had it sitting like that for a long time, and when I flipped it over, the bottom was a bright, shiny silver. But these guys are, well, silver tarnishes, but the rest of these do not, and they stay quite bright forever. Platinum 2, platinum and silver. Silver is the most electrically conductive element. Unfortunately, it tarnishes, so when you get down to really, really tiny like microchips and processors, gold is the way to go, because even though it's not as conductive as silver, it does not oxidize, so you don't have to worry about it crapping out on you after a couple years, or even like a month. But I've got more gold and platinum. It doesn't look like it's in here, but I have got, I'm going to call it the world's most expensive paperclip, because it was a piece of platinum thermocouple wire that I bent into the shape of a paperclip. And one of my fears is that it's going to get used as a paperclip and just lost off in office supply hell somewhere. But between just in this little handful of stuff is probably, given the fact they're isotopically pure samples, probably a couple $1,000 of stuff. All right, get in there, silver bullet. It's all fit in here. Here's a fun one. Mercury, and it's an old. I got this one in a really nice old bottle. There's another little jar of it too, but this is an old. It's got a little dispenser, and I'm gonna bag this one because I just don't like it. Don't like it. But it has an adjustable dispenser on top, so you could twist this, and it would measure out specific milliliters. If when you like flipped it upside down and opened it, it would flow into this chamber. And you'd flip it back up. Well, I guess you'd leave it flipped. When it went back, it would deposit the amount of that spout. Conk 20th century mercury. Keep filled above this line. No thank you. This tray's kind of heavy. Indium wire is fun. It's very squishy. Very soft metal. You can like pinch it and chew it. I've seen people chew it. It's so soft. I've got some other larger chunks. It's like you can take a big blob of it and just stick your nail in it. It'll leave a big indent. Mercury and indium. Indium, I think, is named after indigo because a lot of its compounds make nice light purplish mercury pigments and colors. This was 0 calorie. It's a zircon alloy. These little tiny pigs of zirconia. Zirconium, no, zircon. I'm going to roll these back up because zircon is air reactive. Not strongly or violently like some of the other stuff we've pulled out today. But it will corrode and degrade. But it's an old tube from Japan. Japan Chemical Production Center. I can figure this out later. Yeah, I think it's like Japan Chemical Production Center. Oh, hey, here's my indium chunk. It's a little corroded, but like you can see I put a little ding in it right there with my just now with my nail, real soft. More indium, really fine pelletized indium. It's kind of pretty. Silver sparkles. These ampules would be nice if I could get a camera under them. Oh, some neodymium magnets. Zirconium. I want to say this is my neodymium sample, but I can't remember if I have a better one. The magnets are fucking strong. I'm not gonna mark neodymium just yet. I'm concerned that that's oxidizing though. This one is in a jar. This, I believe, might be the holmium. It's not glowing. This is Resolve AL HOFOD, 99.1%. It's a holmium compound. That's like that's a shitty sample. Yeah, it gets the one because it's a salt. It's not a full one. The other ones are at least pure. They're just crappy. Oh, more sulfur. Sulfur flour is what they call the powdered one. And isotopically stable lead. Department of Commerce, National Bureau of Standards, Office of Standard Reference Material, Washington, D.C., 20234. Lead isotopic standard, common lead. There's like another isotope. Pure isotope. Ooh, it's going a little scrunchy. Praseodymium. That used to be another dull metal. It's kind of got this yellow crust forming on it. I don't think it's going to get worse. It's pretty well sealed, but... Pancakes, buddy. I can hear you crying. What's up, buddy? Stannous chloride powder. That is not part of my samples. That is part of my gold testing kit. Could that be what's turning everything yellow?
And what's that element called?
Element of whiny bastard. Whiny bastard. He's a whiny bastard boy. Antimony. Another toxic metal. Of course, this bottle is old enough that they were just going to cork it shut. You know. Oh, let me do my camera. Hey, there we go. That's a little better light on stuff. On. Yeah, dark, crunchy crystals in there. Isn't too heavy though. This is not bromine. This is a liquid solution. This is an iodine solution. I have better iodine, but if you need to, you know, if you're an old person and you need to sterilize some cat scratches, just I'll go get the iodine. Stench chloride back. The other thing in that tube, and this is another one I can't open. This is not it. This is keeping it safe. Not going to tell you what that one is. These are neat little octahedral native iron cubes. So I think that's what it is. Certainly rust like it, so I assume it is. You can see little flashes of the smooth metal surface, but most of it's all pocked and rusted. These are some native iron crystals. Iron is another one that's super easy to get for an element collection, so I wanted to get a slightly different one. You know, I didn't want to grab, you know, here's a nail, there's your iron, here's your steel. And another neat one, just because it's got some of the... What's up, buddy? Aluminum. Oh my god, buddy. Anyways, I was going to mention this earlier. I completely forgot. Those two samples.
I will be back.
Boy, the two samples I got from someone on Reddit. They were selling on the Element Collection subreddit, and I have to say it's really funny, that subreddit, because people are either beginners to the point that they have no idea what they're talking about. Like, someone will be like, I can't find steel on the periodic table. It's like, well, it's because steel is an alloy of iron and carbon. Or and someone will be like, can I use a battery for the element electron? It's like, that's not an element. Will the periodic table get rearranged when they discover new ones in between? It's like, that's also not how that works. You change the proton, you change the element, there's, you know, nothing in between them. That's it. And then the other half is like, if you need a plutonium sample, I've managed to smuggle out some Soviet-era smoke detectors, and I'm selling them for $1,200 a piece. Going cheap. There's like no in between in that subreddit. But aluminum is one of the most common metals on the planet. But they only, historically speaking, they only recently discovered how to get it out. And so once they found that first process, they were able to pull it out of alum and other common ores, and it became worth well more than gold. Napoleon famously had a whole dinner set made out of aluminum. The Washington Memorial's capped in aluminum. And then a little while after that, they discovered a much more easier system using electrolysis, and now we can barely get people to recycle it. I don't know what these came off of. But I had to laugh because even I have an aluminum dining set that I use for camping. All right, we got a few more little tiny ones. There is terbium. So there, I can confirm that I do in fact have some terbium. Both of these are terbium. Dull metal chunks. Kind of a yellowish hue where it was sliced. Kind of a long grain in the crystal. I've got a little bit of samarium, which has really oxidized. You can see the dark chunk in the middle there. The light a little. There's a little dark chunk in the middle. That's the metal, and the rest of it looks like it's been oxidizing pretty badly in the jar. Yeah, that's it. My samarium sample's not doing great. And my scandium. Kind of a greenish, wiry filament metal. The samarium... I'll make that one yellow. Terbium. Thallium, terbium, TB. Did I already mark terbium? Oh, come on. Where is it? Next scandium. And my samarium could probably use an ampule. There it is. There we go. Here I got a bunch of little ampules, and unfortunately I don't have my laser ball out, so I can't make them all glow. But each of these are a little tiny vacuum tube with some of the gas in them. And there's hydrogen. Ooh, look at that. Clear. But put each of them into the next to the laser ball, and they all glow. I've got hydrogen. I should have helium in here too. Hydrogen, helium, nitrogen, oxygen, argon, neon, krypton, and xenon. So that lets me knock out krypton, nitrogen, oxygen, and hydrogen. Much more fun with the laser ball. The neon glows a bright orange. That's where you get, like, people like to say, like, different neon colors. Neon only glows orange. They're all noble gases. Well, except for the hydrogen and nitrogen. But the other noble gases, with the 8 valence electrons, are really stable, but it is possible to make salts and compounds with them. I just picked up this next one. It came apart. What is that? Oh, alright. Isotopically pure iron ingot. 1954. Just a chunk of iron. Single isotope. Right? It might not be. Magnesium isotope standard. Well, that oxidized. So that's apparently they didn't seal it up enough. I knew I've got more magnesium though, so that's another one that's not hard to find. You can buy magnesium bricks. Volkswagen famously, infamously kept one of the cars had magnesium bricks in the back to weigh it down. The problem is magnesium, once it sets on fire, you're not putting it out. There's more iron, powdered iron this time. This iron's actually, despite the surface area and the easy, more reactivity of it, this is like the best iron I've got. Ooh, 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 ooh. This one's okay. This one's a neat one. Americurium. These are just smoke detector buttons. And American smoke detectors are doped with just a little bit of mercurium. And the way they work is they fire off a little bit of radiation between themselves and a receptor. And the receiver will get hit by them at certain rates. And smoke particles will get in between. They'll absorb the radiation instead. And so the smoke detector detects this drop in radiation and goes off. And that's how a smoke detector works. But this other one, these are little gold watch hands. And in case you were wondering, yes, these are radium watch hands.
Great book on swap.
If you ever want to hear a horrible story about horrible stuff, just look at the Radium girls and the shit they went through and the way the companies were horrible to them. But these are real radium watch dials. And they do glow. They do still have the phosphorescent paint on them. But there's also, like, you know, the toxic radiation. Just a little bit. Yeah, it's blurry because the camera won't focus, but oh. Oh wait, is the camera's focus really this good? Have I been mini painting with the garbage camera this whole time? Homeless guy from last night.
Wow, this is so good.
I don't have light on it. I can tell you this much, that is much better focus than my other camera. What have I been doing? Oh, I'm a fool. Maybe I should just paint inside this box from now on. God damn. Anyways, that marks everything in this tray. So now we are going into the bottom of the box. Some of the larger stuff. But now I have to solve the mystery of what was causing the stuff to brown. This feels heavy. What is this? Oh, okay, cool. These are like metal samples for different foil thicknesses. So this one's iron. Thin iron foil, mid, and thick. And they put several layers of thick in there, so I think that's cheating. What's this one? Tungsten. There's same thing in tungsten, and here's a chunk of tungsten metal, which is in here. It's wire. And the seals are rusty, so I don't want to open the seals and have them just crumble. Oh, yttrium metal. Did I... Ytterbium, that was the one that the less than stellar sample. So yttrium sheet metal. This one is not. This one I can open. These are small. There we go. There's some yttrium metal. Look. Dull gray metal again. This is really thin. Who'd have guessed? What exciting things. Get in there. Get in there. Go. It's so thin, its own, like, friction is causing it to get stuck. Tungsten metal, tungsten wire. What is this one? Tantalum. Oh, this is the heavy one. Can't open it. There we go. It's not pulling off. Tantalum sheet. Semi-shiny gray metal. There, it's kind of sharp, so it's slicing the hell out of the envelope. Trying to get it back so I can paint again. tungsten. I don't know about tantalum. Tantalum is named after Tantalus. I don't remember what Tantalus is, so. Tantalum. Tungsten, I want to say is Swedish for heavy stone. It's W. No. Yes? Hold on. W is for Wolfram, which is German name for tungsten. There it is. Wolfram. That's why it's W. Sodium is natrium. Potassium is Thallium. And the German words won out when they were choosing names. Unlike the international scale of like what they were going to call stuff. There's another Americurium source. That one seems larger. There's my buttons. There's my buttons. Let's just pull out another one. Can't see that one. Don't ask questions. Hey, here's a fun little bag. In a similar vein that I said earlier with the palladium, rhodium, they use those in catalytic converters for hybrid vehicles, and this is the most expensive element that isn't that's obtainable. Like all of this, a bunch of these are just non-obtainable. They're gonna last seconds. But rhodium shot up to like $34,000 an ounce. And I've got like 5, no, not that many. 2-3 ounces. But I don't have this furnace hot enough to melt it, so it's just a sludge, this gray powder. But here is an incredibly thin, tiny piece of rhodium wire. It's like a little spot where it'll focus or not focus. Oh, you almost had it. Yeah, real thin. The dark spot in the middle is kind of like the kinked up bit. More silver. Osmium. Osmium's worth a similar amount to gold. But it does oxidize. It's nice dark, like pale blue metal. But it does form osmium tetroxide on its surface, which is toxic. Rhenium is another precious metal. Rhenium plating makes metal look black. It's a black metal. Ruthenium is named after Russia. Ruthia is one of the old names for Russia. And iridium. No, that's not right. No, it is iridium. Hon, you know the iridium we get in Borderlands? Do you want some iridium? It's real. It's not like super powered. It's just really, really hard. I don't think you can really dissolve it, so it's hard to work with.
It's really pretty.
I want to say it gets its name because from Iris, like the goddess of the rainbow. But when you're processing mixed precious metals, you can dissolve like each one except for iridium. So when you're done dissolving everything, whatever you got left is iridium. So that's silver's done. He's 5. Here we go. Did I not have platinum in this group? I guess I didn't. I think whoever was selling this also had like a bundle where you can get a few more. But I already had the others, so it's just like, just the ones I need. Boop. Play back just a bit. A couple of these guys back in there. They're the real small samples. Some samples you kind of have to like settle for, like, oh, I could get this if I spent thousands of dollars, or I can spend like, oh, shit, I don't even know what this was. This was not expensive.
So I'm gonna start booking it every 2 weeks. Is that okay?
Sure. Yep. There's a nice chunk of platinum group metals. Hey, there it is. There's my selenium ingot. It's toxic. I'm not taking it out of the bag. So it looks like a metal, but it's actually like a hard crystalline sludge. It was bubbling. It looked kind of like lava, but cold. And it smells. It smells. Selenium is named after Selene, the Greek or something moon goddess or whatever. What's this? Nickel metal shavings. I don't think nickel oxidizes much either, but I don't know how much use it has. Because, like, old nickels that were made out of nickel don't really... they don't oxidize like a penny does. I think about some nickel balls in here, too. Nickel plating is used on a lot of stuff, and I guess it's just because it doesn't corrode too much. Oh, if my iodine is down here, that would make sense. That could be what's off gas and yellow in the bubble wrap. What is this? Oh, that's just copper. Yeah, I told you. There's the copper sample for the collection. The other one's going in the on my minerals. This one's just there. It is. It's copper. It's everybody knows what copper is. I do have a lot. One of my coworkers called me a low budget leprechaun because I was able to find copper like all the time when we were scrapping stuff. Like crawl into a dumpster and I'd come out and someone will have thrown out like copper bricks. He just goes, "How? How do you do this? How do you have this innate sense for copper?" we're just scrapping. But there it is. Little heavy chunk. Let me toss that in the tray. I'll put that next to the xenon bulb. I'm sure that won't break. All right. What is vanadium? Oh my god. Oh my god, it's... Oh, hold on. What's that falling on my lap? Oh shit. Okay, the vanadium is a Kremlin. And it's pouring out on my lap, so... Okay. We're just gonna roll that one back up. Carefully just roll that back up, and we're going to put that away, and I'm going to mark that. I think I do have a good one, so I'm not going to mark that shit. I'm going to send that to the side. Hey, hon. She's out of earshot. I can't move. I've got crumbled vanadium all over my lap. All right. It's a new glass thing. What is this one? Oh, this takes more old tubes. What are these ones? Hydrogen. Okay. Same thing as the helium tubes. Electric current goes in one side. That's probably barium on the inside, actually, now that I think about it. Those could be barium getters. So hey, that might double as a decent barium sample, too. And I believe there's another triangular, it came in a little triangular box. I think the other one is nitrogen. I'm not going to bother opening it, because I've already got, like, all the gas samples that are pretty good marked off. But I'm fairly certain it's nitrogen. Right. Oh, this one's sticky. Standard reference material, tin. Big ol' heavy chunk of isotopically pure tin. What's tin? Tin's another one. SN. What does SN mean? Stibnite? No, that's antimony. Oh, I forgot to mark antimony. Stannous. Stannous Baratheon. And they call it stannous, I believe, because it's used as a stain. But I'm not 100% sure. Like staining chloride. Because you can use it to detect gold. Because it'll form a red stain, and the gold drops out and forms the red stain. Oh, this one I had to seal up. These are magnesium turnings. There's the good magnesium. Yeah, I knew I had some. Yeah, nice bright white, very lightweight. Barely any weight to this thing. Like, oh, okay, the glass is heavy. But I did seal this up with resin. You see some of it stuck. Because it will oxidize, and it heats up, and there's a lot of surface area for a kind of metal that, like I said, once it catches on fire, keeps burning, so. Mystery box. If it's already in a box, and I've got a bubble wrapped, so that has me concerned. Probably thinking, shouldn't you know what this? I'm not going to show you that one. That's why. That's why I'm not going to show you that one. Yep. Oh, I remember what that. Okay, yeah, I remember exactly what that box is. All right. No need for you to know what was in there, okay? Don't ask any questions. What do we got here? Lanthanum nitrate. All right, I think that's my lanthanum sample. It's another one of those ones that's. Actually, you know what? I'll mark that with the salt. I'll mark the salts. Yeah, just another nitrate salt. It's probably an oxidizer because it's nitrate, but lanthanum salts, yeah, medically they can do some stuff, I believe, but otherwise, who cares? There's the zirconium. No, I was thinking the vanadium. That's what I needed the better sample of. So, as you can see, this zirconium is a little darker. The other ones were pretty bright and shiny. This one's surface has oxidized because it will react with the air. Same with the manganese. But it's a lumpy, flaky metal. It used to be a little purplish, I think, as it was starting to oxidize. It got a nice little manganese oxide coat on it. But that has since like fully oxidized into just a dull gray. Dull gray metal again. Who'd guessed? Oh shit. Hold on. Vanadium oxide is toxic. Fuck, it's P listed. Oh no. I've gone and poisoned my lap. Hold on, the vanadium. Hold on. I may have poisoned my pants. Vanadium 5 oxide is orange. That's what's toxic. I fucking hope I'm right. Old graphite jar. Right? Carbon flakes. I already have carbon marked off, but it says jar. What's this one? Do not open. Chromium metal. Yeah, chromium metal is another toxic one. Bright and shiny. Chrome plating is fine. It doesn't oxidize too much, but when it does oxidize, you can get a lot of colors, and that's where it gets its name. Chromium, chromos meaning colors. That's another one that gives me trouble, like chlorine, for disposals, because it does get a waste code. It does get D7 waste code. When I'm trying to get rid of stuff, it's just more chromium chunks, bigger flakes. I have to determine whether or not something is like chromogen. Is that chromo as in chromium, or does that just mean it makes colors? Usually it just means it makes colors. I can't believe I poisoned my fucking pants. What is... Okay, here it is. Acrylic chunks. And the acrylic chunks, these are old. These are kind of like, you can see them sometimes. They're just like they have a bunch of samples of different stuff on them. This one blew open. I think that was the sodium. Yeah, the sodium blew open. Sodium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon. Yeah, these are old. This one, mixture. Feldspar. Is that mixture? Okay, whatever. Potassium, magnesium, aluminum, iron, silicon, oxygen, a few others. Hi, hon. And nitrogen, phosphorus, just another one. Antimony, bismuth, arsenic, germanium, silicon, carbon, tin, lead. I have better samples of all of these, so I'm not marking them based off this one. But they're heavy. So I get them wrapped up again. Alright, back in the box they go. It's getting stuck. Hold on. What are you getting stuck on? Oh, don't worry, that was Dr. Wife dropping water bottles in the background, not bottles. Hey, you're not stuck around, hon. All right.
Careful is my middle name, hon.
No, it's not. What is this one? Cadmium. Cadmium will oxidize slowly, so that's another one I sealed up. Another toxic metal. It's kind of soft. You can kind of see on the inside that it didn't get oxidized. It's all shitty. No, wait, that's old adhesive. I remember. We had to peel this off of something. There is cadmium. Cadmium is another famous heavy metal used in paints because it makes the lovely cadmium red. It's too big. It's like a several pound block wrapped up. It's very flaky. But I have calcium brick. It's like a 2-pound calcium brick. I'd pull it out to show you, but I know exactly what kind of condition it's in. The inside is fine, but the outer layers of it are very flake and calcium hydroxide, which is fairly corrosive, and I don't want to get calcium hydroxide flakes everywhere. Here we have the source of the stuff turning yellow. There it is. iodine crystals. Elemental iodine. Very dark purple crystal. Smells halogenated, turns brown in solution. Iodine helps keep your the thyroid from getting all hooked up. I can't open. So this, it's oxidizing a little bit. That's kind of the yellowish tinge to it. But this is some of the silver crystal and sponge I grew in an old batch of silver. And you see the side that hasn't oxidized. It'll oxidize from UV. So this thing sat on a shelf and the sun got to it. So the yellowish coloring is just a slight patina from UV reduction. And the bottom is, well, actually it wouldn't be reduced.
Oh, shit.
Oxidation? I don't know. Yeah, oxidation. You see their stuff are nice, bright. That one's gotten fairly bad, but nice pure silver crystals. Real crunchy, spongy ones. Real lightweight, but also squishy. You can see it squishing, so I'm trying to pick it up. Real soft, squishy crystals. Spongy, real pretty. Just wax on the lid. Iodine and silver. Okay. Where did that jar go? There it is. Push that back in there. Oop, there we go. Random pieces of bismuth. This isn't anything special looking. Most of the time when you see bismuth, it's been cooled slowly and pulled out to form its nice cubic sterlite crystal. And the piece of that I have is in the mineral collection. But this, as you can see, is just a dull brown metal. Somewhere I don't have a disc of it. Hey, kitty cat. Speaking of discs, this is a beryllium disc. I'm not opening it because beryllium metal is toxic, but it's also invisible to X-rays. So they use it in the X-ray machines because you can seal it off. Like completely with the metal, and then still have the X-rays pass through completely unobstructed. This one's heavy. What is this? Rubidium metal. You can see a little bit. It's kind of a dark, dull metal. Just more rubidium. What's this one? Oh, hold on. Barium metal. Hold on. Something's crunchy. Oh no, not you.
Oh.
Something's crumbling in there, and a lot of it is in the barium, which is also very yellowed. Oh, I see. The can that the calcium is in is rusty. And that's flaking and piling, and it lands on the barium. It lands on the other stuff. Hoping that's what landed here on the stuff, but I don't think it was. I don't think that's what got the vanadium, though. So that's kind of a crunchy mess. What's this? molybdenum disc. Look at that. Dull gray metal. Fascinating. I forgot what that's used for. There's a nickel disc. What's this? It's magnesium powder. Magnesium dust. So you can see that versus those turnings from earlier. Zinc. I think what this is done is they melt it and just pour it through water, and it forms all these little pellets. They call it mossy zinc. That's what they call it. We're just looking. Nickel, zinc, mossy. Oh, bismuth. That's one I forgot to mark off earlier. This is a calcium fluoride crystal. I forgot what it was used for. I think looking at radioactive stuff. I think it fluoresces a little. Yeah, a little bit. And that's just a... Fluorine is not a happy, another one of those non-happy elements. So it's kind of the best. I got some fluorite crystals. This is just calcium fluoride. It looks like a resin crystal, but it's hard. It's my red phosphorus. Big old globs of liquid phosphorus. A little moisture in there, a little water to keep it wet. But that's just what goes on the match head dips. We're used to anyways. Cobalt. I got some nicer cobalt. I'll find the other cobalt. What's this? Europium oxide. Okay, this might be... Yeah, it does glow. Well, okay. The flashlight's gotta glow too. Come on. Every time I pointed at it, it like dips out. But it does glow blue. You okay, flashlight? 1.5. Huh?
2 hour or 1.5?
2.
Okay, I accidentally put the next one for 90.
Rubidium oxide. Gadolinium. I already had gadolinium marked off, but there's just some, I don't know, blobs of it? I don't know what they did. They just melted some globs. It looks like half molded. I don't know what they did. But there's some blobs. I've got 4 jars in here left. Cobalt. More cobalt. But this is... Oh, it's lost its color. Oh, there it is. That middle one. That's cobalt. I can open it. There it is. Nice blue color. Oxidized blue and purple. There we go. Cobalt gets its name from kobolds. An old German word for goblins. Not little lizard people like D&D. A German kobold was actually basically the 7 dwarves. They're effectively just exactly what a German kobold is. Little short guys living in mines, helping the miners out. When the legends were brought over to the U.S., it became known as a Tommyknocker. Here we got some titanium. Kind of heavy. You can see it formed kind of lumpy crystals before they poured it into ingots and then broke it apart. You can see there's a lot of like folded over, half-cooled crystalline structure in it. Kind of heavy, but it is, titanium is kind of a lightweight metal. So I'd expect, if that was metal was iron, it would be much heavier. Alright, 2 left. What do we got? Tantalum, which we already got. There's tantalum powder. Well, it was quite liquidy. Final one in the box. Tellurium metal, I knew I had it. I already marked it, but here are the tellurium crystals. can't see it because of the light, but it's dark. It's in there. All right. So vanadium. I do have to mark off the vanadium. And I guess that was my neodymium sample, was the magnets. Not sure what you for the vacuum cleaner. All right, so some of these, I want to mark them as being unavailable simply because I know how horrible they are. Like francium, I'm not going to get. That's worth like 5 billion a gram because it's got a half-life of nothing. Plutonium. Oh, no, I do have. All right, last one. I forgot. I set this aside on the desk. Last sample I've got. I had to buy this one from United Scientific. What's that? I just doxed myself twice. What do you know? Shut up, paper. Is a piece of trinitite. And that is from the Trinity nuclear testing. It's still a little slightly radioactive, but it's from the original atomic bomb tests. And it's the only way in the US to legally own a tiny bit of plutonium. The other ways are to get an old pacemaker that had a plutonium battery, or to smuggle one from a smoke detector from the Soviet Union, and that's against the law. So, I will have to remember to censor out my name. One of my aliases, we'll call it. That's what we'll say. But that is it. That is everything in there. I have somewhere I've got a bunch of silicone discs. They're in a different box. They're about that big, pure silicone. And I've got an entire liter of gallium metal. I'm pretty sure a lot of these are all. I know acetine is off the list. But, yeah. Technetium you can get. It's a little hard and questionable, but there we go. Now I just gotta move all of this into the new box. So, gotta do a little vacuuming of myself. You should be good. All right. I gotta clean up. I made a mess. Once I get that cleaned up, I want to help my brother with some Pokemon. But this is going to be it for me for tonight. But thanks for watching as I accidentally dumped vanadium oxide all over my pants. But, yeah. Anyways, that's about it for tonight. Now that I know that this camera on this setup is better, maybe I'll just paint in the paint box. But I gotta get vacuumed up. I gotta clean these over. I gotta seal the boxes up and everything. So I'm calling tonight here. Thanks for popping in while I rambled a bit. I knew a lot less about a lot of these but then again, we handled all the small ones first. Yeah. I had more of my collection was completed than I thought I did. Oh, I don't have any hafnium. I'm pretty sure the entire bottom row is just all way too radioactive to hold. So, of the ones I can actually acquire, I've got most of them. Alright. Alright, that's it for me for tonight. Thanks for joining me while I repack this box of hazards. And I will see you later. Thanks.